if the Warriors do pull this off, they win one more against Dallas, which we expect, and then if they win the finals, what does that tell us about Steph Curry and his place in history?
Well, first of all, Dan, before I drop these facts, I need everybody to fix their faces and body language, okay? But when you talk about Steph Curry and you talk about a generational talent, a guy that's at 6'2", 6'3", that has changed the game, pure dominance, the greatest shooter of all time, a guy that's in the conversation with Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, for the only guys to win multiple MVPs, multiple scoring titles, and multiple championships. And then by that, look at the championships that Steph Curry won. He went through a guy that is sitting at the table for us with the GOAT conversation in LeBron James, okay? And then he's breaking up happy homes. You know, he broke up Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant a couple years back in the Western Conference Finals so bad with KD says, you know what? I decided to go live in that household. So when I look at Steph Curry, forget top 10 greatest player of all time, forget being the best point guard to ever play the game of basketball. I'm looking at Steph Curry, and we're going to have to add some color to the Mount Rushmore because we're going to have to start drawing and putting his eyes in those green eyes. And right now, if he goes on to win the championship and adds a Finals MVP to his resume, he's going to bump Magic Johnson out and going to be sitting right there with the greats on Mount Rushmore. Y'all can take it how y'all want it. Y'all can roll your eyes. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. I said what I said.
I mean, I feel like that's a pretty big statement that another championship bumps Magic Johnson off of Mount Rushmore for Steph Curry. JJ, what do you think?
Another championship and Finals MVP.
Okay, and Finals MVP. JJ, is he right?
Look, Steph Curry is already a top 10 player in my book, and if he wins another MVP and a Finals MVP, you can certainly make a case that he's probably top 5 or 6. It would take more than that, I think, to knock Kareem or Magic off of Mount Rushmore. When we talk about the best players, those guys, you have to get into MVPs, Finals MVPs, and championships. Magic has 3 MVPs, 3 Finals MVPs, 5 championships. Kareem has 6 MVPs, 2 Finals MVPs, and 6 championships. And Perk, if you want to talk about changing the game, you know who changed the game? Magic and Larry. Let's keep in mind, in the 1980s, as late as the 1980s, the NBA Finals were on tape delay. As late as 1986, the Western Conference Finals were on tape delay. The league did not have the interest or clout until Magic, Larry, Dr. J, and MJ came along. Let's acknowledge that when we talk about changing the game. And you brought up in the last hour, and I apologize because I didn't know you were going to say something so crazy that he should be on Mount Rushmore just because he's small. And when we talk about counting stats, you want to throw an MVP in there? I'll throw AI. Like AI is a 25-5 in guy too. If that's what we want to do. We want to talk about counting stats and an MVP. Yeah, I'll throw AI in there.
But JJC, again, you're missing the whole point. And I understand your brain is not functioning right now. But the reason that I'm throwing,
I have lockjaw right now. It's really bothering me.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. And you got a nice little hair, your little soul glow in your hair. I get all that.
My hair looks good today. I'm not gonna lie.
Here's the thing that you have to realize. The reason that I bought in Steph Curry's size because I talk about his dominance, him dominating at that size, whether it's shooting, and we don't give him enough credit the way that he imposes his will in the paint and his finishing around the basket. It's right
we
there.
We give him credit for that all the time.
Irving.
He's one of the best finishers at that size ever.
Right.
What are you talking about? We don't give him credit for that?
No. Listen, everybody don't. We just talk.
Well,
when we think of Steph Curry,
Perk,
JJ,
dominance
JJ,
at any size is dominance. You're not going to discredit a player for being bigger and Steph getting more credit for being smaller.
Excuse me. I want to bring this back to the question at hand. Swagger, let's talk Mount Rushmore in the NBA and Steph Curry. What do you think?
Giving me TMJ.
Yeah, I don't think Steph is on the Mount Rushmore. But I want to ask Perk and JJ, where is Kobe in this conversation?
Anybody?
I believe I got Kobe top 10. He's a top 7, 8 player in the NBA. I do.
Okay.
Let's look at in my book, in no particular order, by the way. After we talk about those four guys, MJ, Magic, Kareem, LeBron, I've got Duncan, Steph, Bill Russell, Larry Bird, Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe, Shaq. Like that's the next group of guys.
Okay.
And you can order them however you want to order them.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.